But I mean, you can bleep me out if that's too much, but it's not a. Don't take it so hard.
Oh my God!
God,
I'm not putting this on YouTube. I need to look for that, and now I have to bleep this.
I'm sorry.
God.
The Omnic Weekly.
Welcome everyone. It is Sunday, February. I just invented a new month. February 11th, and this is episode 168 of the Omnic Weekly. I am D, and I am joined this week by the giggling Frozen.
Hi.
She gave away that she was here before we even started because she was giggling because I said February.
If you invent a new month, I just can't stop it.
Yeah, it kind of started out already. I was already goofing off before we started recording, and that usually just kind of... I recorded a few videos for the, everything that is coming up this week right before the podcast, and there were so instances of certain sentences that I had to do like 4 or 5 takes on because it just said the weirdest stuff. Like sometimes I will record something for a video. Luckily, it's all cut out. You'll never get to see it. I kind of hide it in a bunker cellar under a lot of concrete with a lot of guards posted around it. Oh no, I just delete it. I just delete it. Sorry. But yeah, there's some funny mistakes I make. Sometimes it just like, what the hell is going on in my brain? It's weird. But how you doing, Frozen?
I'm good. Rested for a change.
Scorpio
because
would be pleased.
I'm off of work. So
you have some vacation time.
Yeah, finally.
Are you traveling? You were going to travel to the Netherlands, right?
Yeah, not next week, the week after. I'm going to travel to the Netherlands.
That's in the week of the 20th something?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be traveling too that week.
Ooh, where are you going?
I'm going to London with Hilda.
Nice. Yeah. We're both traveling.
Yeah, she got me a gift for like a few nights, 2 nights actually, in a hotel in London, because I've been nagging her to go to London. And for my New Year's gift was actually like a few nights at the hotel that we kind of liked down there. So we're going to go down there and I'm going to make some content and just have some fun, visit some museums and whatnot. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. I need to get out of this country once in a while, otherwise I go crazy. I have already.
Me too.
I have booked the trip for now in February. I might be going. I don't know. I'm still kind of deliberating to GDC in February, but I don't know. I feel like I need to be there. I feel like I don't need to be there. It's like a double thing. And then in May, I'm going back to Crete. So I have a few things to look forward to. But yeah, exactly. But you're going to Holland. Well, just be careful. Those are crazy people.
I know, especially Michael. He's going to be very crazy.
He's the craziest of all of them. Michael Nicht. All right.
Name dropping.
Yeah, exactly. He never listens anyways. But this week is also very important because this week, do you know what happens this week, Frozen?
Yeah, I do.
Apparently there's going to be a huge snowstorm coming in from the north and it's going to go down and apparently it's going to hit Germany and the Netherlands and Belgium. Oh, and season 9 is launching for Overwatch too.
Yeah, I mean, snow.
I don't even believe we're going to get snow anymore. But no, like season 9 is starting in just a few days. If you're listening to this, it's probably Monday. So tomorrow for you guys, unless you are a Patreon and you get early access over on patreon.com/theomnicpost. Did you see? That was nice, right? I just slide it in there. Damn.
Yeah, getting more natural every time.
No, not at all, but it's smart. It's smart. But yeah, season 9 is starting and I'm going to go out on a limb here and just call this the most anticipated Overwatch 2 season yet.
I agree. I think season 6 was big, but this is bigger.
Yeah, I feel like season 6 was big because it was officially the launch of the game. There was a new hero, and there was PvE, of course, something that we all have been waiting for a really long time. So, but I think this one, like season 6 ended when season 7 started. The impact of season 6 ended when season 7 started, except for Yari maybe. Season 9 is going to echo through all the coming seasons for years to come. The changes that they're doing in this season are going to affect all the future seasons. This is just not like, hey, we have some fun stuff. This is all right. We're changing some big things to this game, and people are going to be talking about this season. Like, yeah, after season 9, either it broke the whole game, or it was the best thing they've ever done in years. We'll see.
It's gonna feel like a different game, that's for sure, with like some changes they're implementing.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is going to feel different, but me personally, my opinion, and let me emphasize this, that I could be completely wrong about this, because nobody can say how this is going to pan out. This is I'm getting on the nerves of people by keep saying that, and by I keep calling people out for their opinions, and then I'm getting called out for my opinions, which is just fine. But you can't predict how this is going to pan out. But just kind of looking at it, for one, I am very happy with the changes that are coming, because there are going to be changes. I think the game needs some changes. I think we're kind of done with stacking cosmetics over cosmetics over cosmetics. But also, I don't know, I feel like the changes they're trying to do, when you explain them to me the way they explained them in the latest blogs, kind of makes sense.
I have to agree in that regard.
Yeah.
If you really think about some of the changes that are going to happen, it kind of makes sense. And I think for a lot of people, it's going to make sense once they're actually playing it. Because at first, it seems kind of alien. But I feel like it's going to be okay.
Yeah, when you see when you see like a bullet list of what they're going to do, you're like, what the frick are they doing? But once you start to listen to why they're doing everything, you're like, oh, wait, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But let me go back, and because maybe there are a few people that have been living under a rock for the last few weeks, and they have no freaking clue what is happening. And we're like, oh, it's so exciting. It's going to, and they're like, what the hell is happening? You
tell us.
So let's go over it. I think let's start out with the stuff that almost everybody knows by now, is that we're getting a complete rework of competitive. I've said this many a times, and this was also kind of inspired by something Yara said at some point. This is not going to make you a better player in Overwatch competitive. Although you might actually rank a little higher this season than you ever done before, but we're going to explain that in a second. But it is going to make the whole experience more transparent. And it is going to, for once and for all, and I know for a fact that this is not going to make a huge difference for some people, but it's going to show you that your rank is a you issue and not a game issue.
Okay, let's alter that. It's not gonna make you a better player immediately, but if you take the things they're gonna give you and try to improve on them, you might improve.
Yeah. I don't know if like the feedback that they're going to give you, let's run over it. So because I'm kind of talking to, how do you say that? Well, it's not concrete enough what I'm saying. That's what my point actually is. The things they're changing. First and foremost, let me maybe start with the stuff that is actually the least important. We're getting a new rewards. We're getting the old currency is going to become legacy currency. We're going to earn new competitive points, and those competitive points will look slightly different, but they will also allow you to buy new jade weapons, green weapons. Bah! Green. Yuck. I don't like green. I don't think I'll be buying them, but
for people who like green, fine.
Yeah,
but
have fun.
Yeah,
weirdos.
I'll stay with gold for now.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of green.
The second thing that is happening is that we're getting a new rank, the champion rank. Now, I've seen a lot of confusion about this. Is this between Grandmaster and top 500? No, it is on top. It's above Grandmaster, and top 500 is actually kind of a layer that is over that. Back in the day, or up till season 8, top 500 were the top 500 players, and those could be Grandmaster, but some of them were actually Master players. It's just like literally the top 500 list of people on your region that are in there. And that is still going to be the case, but now it's going to be mainly Grandmaster players, and according to everything that they've been telling us and that we've been reading in the blogs, that is going to be a smaller list than Grandmaster ever was. It's not like you're just bumping it up, like everybody that was Grandmaster is now going to be champion, it's going to be a smaller. It's really like an exclusive club of a just. They didn't really want to. I don't think they ever said any numbers, but it looks like it's going to be very, very exclusive.
They said you will need quite a few games to be able to get that rank.
Yeah. You need to
So
play a
it's
lot of
for the
games.
people who grind a lot.
Yeah, and that are very good at the game. Plain and simple. You just need to be very good at the game. Those are going to be. If you see a champion, that name is picked for a reason. Those are kind of the. It's not Grandmaster is going to feel a little more like a good job. I'm never going to be Grandmaster. But that being said, because they add a new rank, they're kind of stretching the whole curve of all these ranks. In case you did not know, like all the ranks are kind of well, you have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster. So there were 7 ranks. Now there's an 8th one that is being added, and you basically had a curve of percentages of people that were in the bigger. It basically looked like a huge. I don't want to be rude or anything, but like a huge boob. Like it just had this hill in it. Like it just kind of and that shifted back and forth according to the meta and what was happening and whatnot. But that is being stretched a little. That actually will, for some people, have them end up instead of being platinum, they might be diamond. I'm not talking about myself. Maybe we'll see. We'll find out. But it will kind of it will kind of allow you to maybe end up a little higher because that curve is being kind of stretched a little bit. So if you are on the second half of the arc, that might actually kind of bump you a little further. And in general, that at least, and I'm going to believe this person, Gavin Winter, one of the people that designed this whole system, was in my chat not too long ago, and he literally said, like, when you do your placement matches, because you'll have to do 10 placements for every role, initially, you're going to end up a little lower. Why? Because they're doing a reset. They're doing a reset of your SR, of your rank, not of your MMR, which means that your matchmaking is still going to be the same. You're going to do placement matches, and during those placement matches, you're going to see how you kind of evolve and where you end up. And like, but every placement match you do, you won't have to wait like 10 placement matches to get an idea of where am I going, because after every placement match, you're going to get, this is where you're heading to. This is kind of what we kind of assess you to be right now. Prove us wrong in the next game or confirm that it is going to be that way. And as you progress through those games, you'll end up with the final placement. And that is most likely going to be a little lower than you ended in the previous season, because they're kind of reshuffling, they're resetting, they're starting everybody. And I'm doing air quotes in case you're not watching on YouTube, but they're starting as anew. But, and that is also something he said, you're probably going to end up higher than you ever did. So you have something to look forward to. Now, that is one thing. So we got the new role, we got the placement matches, we got the reset. On top of that, with every match you do, you're going to see how you move within your rank and within your division. You're going to see how you progress towards the next division after every single game. And that is the next thing is what Frozen was talking about. You're also going to see what impacts that move forward or back. Because sometimes they'll move forward a little faster, while other times you'll actually kind of bump up just a tiny bit. And I've had a lot of people coming into my stream like, I don't get it. I won 5 games. I lost 1. I didn't go up. I just stayed the same rank. How is that possible? That is because there's a lot at play. Blizzard will also always at the start of the match make an assessment of your team and the enemy team. And they'll mathematically have like an advantage for one of the teams. One of the teams is predicted to win that match, or is more likely to win that match. Let's keep it at that. Now, if you are on the team that is most likely to win that match and you win it, you'll still progress, but you'll progress a little less than you would if you were on the team that was actually predicted to be the losing team. If you were predicted to be on the losing team and you win, you'll make a lot bigger of a progress. And these are kind of modifiers that are added to your progress that will explain why you move faster and slower. If you win 3 matches in a row, that will kind of start accumulating and kind of you'll just kind of move forward faster. The other way around, if you have a losing streak. And that is why it is such a good idea after 3 losses to just kind of stop for a second, reset, play something else, go have a sandwich, hit a 3 for 15 minutes. I don't care what you do, but then come back with a fresh mind and just also kind of, because you're kind of going down a dark hole, and Blizzard will kind of keep punishing you for every loss a little harder and harder along the way. So
take a walk, touch some grass.
Yeah. So to that aspect, I do think it's going to influence your gameplay, but it's not going to tell you necessarily like, well, like that Roadhog, you were feeding, buddy. That was not good what you were doing, and that is not something we're going to see in this. Maybe in the future, but we'll see. I do think the transparency is something very important, because there's too many people blaming the system. As always, that there's like an order in which people start blaming other stuff than themselves for any loss. Their teammates is going to be one. The Blizzard and Overwatch itself is going to be one. Then matchmaking, definitely. And my mouse is broken. My keyboard is broken. My homework, and they just kind of alter. My ping, my internet is broken. My brother just farted in my room and left. Stuff like that. Not a true story, by the way. Little bastard. I'm never forgiving him. I swear. But yeah, those are the things that will kind of influence your ranking. But yeah, those are the excuses people make. Jesus Christ. And I don't know what happened to my brain. Just, and I was gone. I was on a completely different train there.
It's okay.
The flashback wasn't a good idea. But it's never going to be themselves. It's never going to be shit, I fucked up. I get a lot of people like coming into my stream and asking me, how do you remain so chill while losing games and whatnot? First and foremost, I do not, in my head, it's not that calm as I kind of show myself on stream. And second, I have a very low, how do you say that? Self-image. So I always blame myself for everything. So when we're losing a match, I'm always like, shit, I'm fucking up. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing this, and that. My reaction is never, well, sometimes I'll yell like, what is this tank doing? But yeah, that is only when they're running into a chasm, doing a little dance, or they're moonwalking while everybody's shooting at them spicy. Just shit like that. Then I'll say like, what the fuck are they doing? Anyways.
I mean, when you first think about what you yourself did wrong, you're definitely not gonna get like that passionate about, oh, everyone else is shit. Why didn't we win this? You're like, maybe I should have done this better. Maybe I should have improved that. Maybe I didn't hit my shots. Like, well, that's a valid thing to think about. Yeah. But yeah.
You know what the thing always is? Like, it also makes way more sense to look at yourself first. I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but listen. Because you have control over what you do. You can improve. The one person you will be playing with every single match is yourself. If you can look at yourself and see what you can improve for yourself, will actually improve your experience every single time. If you keep putting it on other players, you're not progressing, you're not growing, you're not moving forward. You're always putting the blame on other people, and you, the one remaining factor, the one factor that is on every single game that you play and every single game that you lose is you. So why not try and better that and see if that maybe helps out to win your games and kind of maybe aim a little better or whatnot. I know I have like one moment I can shoot everybody in the face, and the next moment I'm shooting walls. Like, what the hell is happening? It happens. I'm not consistent in my skill, in my aim skill especially. And I recognize that. It's just a fact. I'm not going to put that on anybody else. I'll just feel guilty after. It's like, shit, I shouldn't be playing DPS right now. Especially not on stream, because I get so distracted and just scroll.
It's fine. We're just having fun in stream.
That's true.
I mean, like when you are with friends and goof around, I don't know, losing a game just doesn't seem that bad, because it's like, next one, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of feels like that, especially when you just don't have someone on the team who's like, oh my god, why didn't you?
Yeah,
but everyone's...
That is the most stressing part about the defeat, is the other people complaining and kind of putting the blame on everybody, and the whole, and the winning team going easy GG, easy GG, easy GG. I just want to kind of, and that is the old man in me, just grab him by the back of the head and go like, say that again, and then they go really quiet.
That's enough for today. You shall go to bed.
Yeah. Little
Night-night.
shit.
I'll take out my Ana grenade.
And it's always the enemy player that didn't do jack shit on the team that is the first to say easy GG. And the Hanzo or the surgeon that killed everybody is just good game.
Because for them it was easy because they didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. They were goofing off the whole game. All right. But anyway, so competitive is getting a big rework. And it's going to be a whole new experience to play competitive. And the thing we need to do now is on Tuesday, we need to jump in, we need to give it a try. And if we have any feedback, we need to relay that feedback to Blizzard. And then we get some adjustments. But I do think this could be the start of something new when it comes to competitive.
Definitely.
The second thing, and in my opinion, I think that is even bigger, that they're going to change, is actually the core PvP experience. Overwatch is always going to be a hero-based, team-based, competitive shooter. But the way the game kind of feels and plays is going to change substantially. And there's a whole blog they did that you can go read on what they're doing exactly. Like they're giving everybody more HP. That whole thing that Aaron was talking about with giving passive heals to tanks and DPS too. And on top of that, they're making the projectiles for all the heroes bigger. Which sounds like, what are they doing? But what they're actually doing is stabilizing the whole experience. What they're trying to avoid is that you get these damage bursts, or that anything that you're trying to do is going to be cut off by the enemy support, in the sense that enemy supports are going to heal through everything. So by bumping up the health, they not only kind of take away those damage peaks. And I'm like, this is weird because I'm recording a podcast. Later today, I'm going to be editing this podcast. And I'm always looking at this story as a waveform. If you ever did editing with audio, you recognize that little thing that you see, you know, that these lines, all these lines that are next to each other that actually make up what we call a waveform, basically a sound file. And one thing you need to take into account, and I'm going a little technical here, is that you need to you have these restraints. You need to bump it up as much as possible to minus, let's say -3, -1 dB, to make sure that the sound comes through perfectly and everybody can hear you. But you can't clip it, because otherwise, once you go beyond, it's going to sound really distorted and whatnot. So you need to kind of respect that. The thing is, if you start working with different voices like Frozen and myself, who have different volumes of voices, you basically get this kind of you get this very big difference between the two volumes, and the way you do that is by kind of bloating everything up, the one more than the other, till they both reach that same thing. And that is kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, this is kind of that same thing. They're bloating everything up to a point where it covers all these damage spikes. It won't kill you as much. But on top of that, and I know this is a weird comparison, I'm going a little far off, but on top of that, for supports, they're not buffing the healing. So when you needed to heal a tank to a certain amount, now you need to heal them more to get them full up to health. So what they're basically doing is nerfing all the healing. So they're actually improving the impact of all the damage that is being done. So it's kind of a very weird move in which that, because of raising the health, they're actually making damage more impactful. And on top of that, they're kind of bumping up the projectile sizes. So if you launch a shot, that there will be less random numbers. It's going to be less difficult, true, but it's going to be, above all, more consistent to hit your shots. So once everybody starts hitting their shots consistently, you're kind of flattening off that waveform, as I was saying, to the maximum it can reach. You have the health that is right there. Just above that, you basically get this really nice compact feel to all the damage that is happening. I can't explain it in words, but I like the way they explain it. I felt like it's like you're putting a lot of layers on top of everything to kind of make sure it kind of feels solid, like it is less random and less spiky and less kind of countered by enemy supports.
I mean, and it kind of explained it like that it's gonna also, like, it's gonna improve consistency, but also I kind of feel like it's gonna help with situations like, how did that shot hit me? That didn't make any sense. things like that, because sometimes even when like doing the replay, you freeze everything, you look at it. Sometimes it just feels like it doesn't make sense why that shot would have hit you.
Yeah.
But with bigger projectiles, it can probably like just see it better. Like, oh, that's why it hit me. Oh, this is why.
Yeah.
Because
Your expectation
by now
will
you
be
have
more.
these, but by now you have these situations where like, how did I hit that shot, or why did that hit me? That doesn't make sense, and that's just gonna be eliminated by that. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, there's still going to be these freak accidents that are going to happen, but they won't have much of an impact on you as a target because you have more health. But for people that are dealing the damage over time, they'll start noticing that their shots, as they predict, as they hope they will hit them, because that isn't the thing that I had, is that I'm shooting at someone. Like I said, my aim is very inconsistent. Like one day I'll be hitting the shots everywhere. I'll be on Zenyatta and just like popping off, like getting one after the other. And the next day I'm just like, you can just see the bullet holes in the wall because people are moving and whatnot, and my tracking is not well enough and whatnot. But I also have these instances where I feel like I'm pretty sure that hit their target, because you can feel it. You feel this that you get this over time. You get this sense of that is going to hit and that is not going to hit. And I had several instances over the last years where I was like, yeah, man, I figured that sleep dart hit its target. I felt like my orb hit its target while it didn't, and that is now going to be very different. Like if you get that gut feel like that is a hit, you aimed correctly, it's going to hit. It's going to be very consistent. It's going to be bam, you got it, bye, see ya. And that is going to help to kind of, I don't know, I do think, I've seen some people come, to make it easier. Yeah, but don't forget that the other team also will have an easier time of hitting you, and support is going to be nerfed by them raising the HP. So overall, you're going to hit your shots more, which is going to feel rewarding. It's going to feel good. But the game in general is not going to be easier. The game in general is, everybody is using those same tools. So, and I do think that the people that have good aim, the people that are that are the champions and the grandmasters of this community, they are going to pop off. They are going to use this and they're going to make this work. They will have a way bigger leeway to kind of, I think that is going to be interesting to watch how they, with all this consistency, it's going to be moving way more to real strategy, and which is already the case, of course. So once you play at that level, it's not about just aim, it's about way more than that. It's about game awareness. There's so much more to the game than any gold player will ever know. But they are going to make that work even better. And they are going closer to Valorant territory and all the other things that kind of work very well on the predictiveness of all your actions and whatnot. But without kind of abandoning their roots and without kind of giving up on what made Overwatch special. I know I'm sounding very optimistic, but that is because I am very optimistic. Again, there's no way I can predict this because 1, I am a platinum player. 2, I suck at math. 3, there's nobody that can actually predict how this is going to work out because there's so much at play. I've seen so many people comment. Sorry, Frozen, I'm interrupting you. But let me finish my sentence one sec. I've seen so many people ranting and making these charts of what they think are going to be the OP heroes. I'm like, guys, could you just wait till you got to try it? Because some people do it, of course, purely for the clicks and the likes and the cloud. But other people are like, really, no, there's no fucking way that you know. There's no fucking way. Sorry.
There are just so many valuables at play, where even if you are an experienced player, like you can take an educated guess on how things are going to play out, but you can never know for sure. And I feel like some people just present themselves as what's gonna happen, this is how it's gonna pan out, we shouldn't even try it. And that's just the wrong way to look at it, because the game is just so fluid and we've been surprised before by things. So I don't feel like you should just say, hey, I don't think it's gonna happen, so it's not.
Yeah, no, exactly. And one thing, like, if this turns out that it just kind of moves the balance and you have basically get the same issues at a different level, which is a possibility that could happen, I do think because of the way they kind of bumped up the numbers and whatnot, I do think it's going to be easier to balance everybody because you have more leeway, you have more room. The chunkier your numbers are, the more you kind of can work in these divisions that kind of make sense to bring things down and up. If you have like too smaller numbers, I know it doesn't make any sense mathematically, it doesn't make any difference if you work with 0.5 or with 5 how do you call it, iteration steps in between, or with I don't know, like look at this, a German and a Belgian trying to speak English, what the fuck. You basically get these steps of 0.5 or 5 centimeters or whatever you want to what are you working with, but it does feel, it makes more sense if the numbers are bigger. No. For me, it kind of feels like it gives you more space to work with, and it's going to be a little easier to work with minute details, to kind of just to have to hit that mark, you know? Like some of these heroes, really, you need to hit the mark exactly. You can't be off by 1.111. No, you need to hit it exactly, and then it's going to feel balanced, and then it's going to feel right. There are a few heroes out there, like they call them, that are balanced on the razor's edge. But the smaller your numbers are, the more thin that razor's edge gets. And the bigger your numbers are, the broader that razor's edge gets. And then you get a little wiggle room. But that is my brain. That is my brain kind of I don't know. I'm optimistic, as always cautiously optimistic, but still optimistic that this is going to be a change that is going to push the game in a new direction. On top of everything else that they're working on. Let's not forget that at the end of last season, or a few weeks back, they did the whole quicker play. Sorry, they're going to do something similar again this season. They are clearly looking at this game and going, "What can we change to make this a different experience?" We're kind of done after 7 or 8 years of playing this game. We just the same thing all over again. And I think a lot of people are, and it's a comment I see a lot on my videos too when I kind of report on anything new. Comment, more cosmetics. When are we getting some meaningful content? I think this is one of the steps that we're getting. This is going to be one of the more meaningful pieces of content that we're going to get in months and maybe even years to come. Game modes are nice, heroes are nice, but just changing up the core gameplay once in a while. And I know that I'm kind of special in the sense that it's not like I welcome change in general. I kind of like change. It makes me nervous. Like if I had to start a new job, if I start a new career, as I start doing anything new, I am nervous, but also very excited because it's something new. It's something different. I really like that. That's been... Like I have had so many jobs just because I like switching things up occasionally, because I get bored really quickly if I do the same thing for way too long. And I think this is kind of, for me personally, this is like, I can't wait to just try it. It could be very bad, could be very good. I don't care. I want to try it. I want to see this. But I know a lot of people out there are kind of like, no, don't chase it. No.
Oh, like, okay, if, for example, with those DPS passives, we haven't talked about the idea so far. I am very excited about the DPS passives. Like, I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, we don't need support anymore." Like, your tank still needs healing. Like, everything will still need support because support does not equal healer. Get that shit out of your heads right now, because of course supports tend to also just heal because it's usually a support ability, but supports can do so much more than just heal.
True.
And I mean, let's be very honest, you're not gonna wanna heal a Genji that's on the other side of the map behind the enemy like lines, and I don't know, you're playing Mercy and trying to fly over there and just die in the process. You'd rather have a Genji who can like sit down, crouch somewhere, like after 5 seconds, like let himself heal up for a while.
Exactly. I mean, I thought we were talking about the other passive, but you're talking about the fact that both DPS and tank are getting a tuned down version of the support passive that basically gives himself heal. So for tank and DPS, that is going to be after 5 seconds. For supports, that is after 2.5 seconds. They'll start self-healing them. But 5 seconds is a long time. You need to be out of combat.
Very long time, yeah.
But the new DPS are also getting a new passive that whatever they are targeting will take 20% less healing. So supports are going to be more needed than ever. Supports are actually going to be, in my opinion, supports are going to be healing more than ever. I think overall, because one, the HP pool overall within your group is going to be a lot bigger. You have, including yourself, you have 5 people that will have more health. So to keep them up, to keep them at full health, you'll need to heal more to keep everybody up. On top of that, all the healing you do on the target that is being DPS'd is going to be 20% less effective. So you'll need more time to do it. What I'm thinking is that supports are going to be healing more than ever, that the hybrid supports, that the DPS supports especially, are going to be a problem in a lot of the instances. Because I do think overall your team, especially the tank, because can you imagine like if someone is shooting your tank is going to take 20% less healing. 20% is a lot.
Abilities who can, for example, I'm talking about an Ana main. If I sleep an enemy DPS, that's going to have so much more of an impact now than, let's say, when I slept it before. Because if 2 DPS are just going on the enemy tank and he just takes less healing, he's just going to be down so much faster. And then, like, I just sleep, for example, the Reaper, and they have 1 DPS who can, like, target someone or do anything.
Yeah.
Abilities like that are going to be so much more impactful.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious actually how that is going to pan out. I'm really curious.
That is one really interesting.
Yeah, that is one of the things that for me is very hard to predict. I can like make up a chart and kind of go like, okay, there's going to be 20% less healing on any target that is being shot at that point. But everybody has more health, so you have more cushioning, so they won't go down as fast because compared to before, they do have a bigger pool. But you have a more difficult time to keep them up. But then you have 5 people to do that on, including yourself, of course. Like, there's all these things at play. And then I'll end up with a feeling like, okay, supports are going to be healing more than ever. Tanks are going to be... it will be challenging for tanks in general to kind of... They need to be smarter about it. Everybody is going to have to play the role way more. But then, indeed, DPS are going to be the true damage role again. It is going to be... Like they are going to be the role that brings the damage to the table. That kind of makes the difference. That helps to burn down whoever needs to be burned down at that point. So
I don't know. Like the first time I saw that DPS heroes were gonna like cause people to receive 20% less damage. I don't know why it happened, but my mind immediately went to Mercy, and I was like, well, she's gonna have a harder time now.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain went to that, but like that's the first thing that came to mind.
because a lot of Mercies are kind of they are the prime the when it comes to supports, they are the healers, like they are the prime healers, they are the main healers. There's only like
I think Mercies are less gonna be used to like keep people alive now and more gonna be used to actually like support the DPS and trying to kill someone. Yeah. Because the damage beam is going to be so much more impactful than her healing beam.
Yeah, that is going to be probably... I don't know. That is something I have a really difficult time with because everybody's going to have more health. Is it going to be better to just kind of focus as much as possible on DPS and burn down the enemy team instead of trying to keep your own team up? To kind of just work the clock and to try and burn them down before they can burn you down? Is it really going to be more about, okay, we need to kind of divide this and make sure that we can outlast their damage and kind of are you going to be able to cushion enough to stop the incoming damage and push back hard enough to kind of roll over them? Is that thing going to be, I don't know.
It's really gonna depend on the team and like on the game you're playing, because like every game tends to be quite different from one another.
Yeah.
Like in every game, there's just going to be different things that are happening. And I feel like this allows people to be more creative again with what they do.
That's what I meant, like when I said at the start. Yeah, the more of the tactic instead of the...
It's like it's just gonna be more creativity involved again, because if you do out of the pocket things, I feel like the things that are happening here could just support doing those. And honestly, it could be really fun to see. So
I can't wait for Tuesday. I wanna see this in action. I think one of the first things I'm going to do is like 2 games of quick play. Well, I'm not streaming on Tuesdays. For me, it's going to be Wednesday. Tuesday, I'll be spending the whole night making videos. But on Wednesday, I'm streaming, and the first thing I'm going to do is play a few games of quick play and jump into competitive afterwards.
I mean, we'll see if we are even gonna be able to like play on Tuesday evening.
Oh yeah,
because this is a very anticipated season by now, and I've seen from a few people that they might consider like coming back to the game and like trying it out. So I feel like we're gonna be like in some waiting lines, in some queues.
Let's hope Blizzard anticipates that and that they actually do the thing that they've been doing. Like they didn't do it for the season 8, but they did it for season 6, is to release the season an hour earlier than they actually said, to kind of stretch the whole kind of opening experience over an hour. I'm going to be checking at 7 p.m. my time, which usually it's 8 p.m. At 7 p.m. I'm going to try and log in. I'll keep you guys posted and try and get into the game. But anyways, we need to move forward because there's still a lot of other stuff.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like the same Germany. Scheiße!
Man.
First of all, like maybe let's focus a little bit on the team this season. So there were a few options, but it turned out it is going to be the Eldritch Horror team.
Can we talk about how I kind of predicted it?
Yeah, well, I mean, you had a 25% chance. You did good.
True.
Didn't you say also that it was going to be more that was going to get?
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
I kind of joked about how, like, because people were saying, like, Lifeweaver and people like that, I was like, let's be honest, they're gonna do the out-of-pocket thing and give it to Moira, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, they did. But, I mean, she is perfect for this event. Giving her the skin in this event it was meant to be.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
If you're not familiar with Eldritch Horror, it's basically a sub-genre of horror that is based off H.P. Lovecraft's writing, and it always is about the old gods, like old creatures that interdimensional.
Lovecraftian Cthulhu, if some people are maybe familiar.
Cult of Cthulhu, exactly.
Yeah, Cthulhu and stuff like that, like these kind of things, like creepy tentacles.
Exactly. Blizzard always had that kind of relationship. They have always been big fans because in World of Warcraft, for instance, they are also old gods, and they are very reminiscent of what you see in H.P. Lovecraft's stories. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful skins. Most of them are in the battle pass. So
big plus.
Yeah. I think there's only 2 skins that are not on theme. That is the Winston skin and the Bastion skin. The Bastion is the noodle skin, which Bastion mains seem to love, and I'm like, that is a weird looking skin. I'm going to be honest.
Honestly, they're kind of having a theme. We saw that with Hansel, we saw that with the Takoyaki Zen skin, and now like the noodle Bastion is kind of like a little like sub theme. They're like sprinkling in from time to time. Yeah,
they did the same thing with the Toxic. We've seen like some Toxic skins. We've seen some like they have some themes that they probably are not going to use in future seasons that are trickling in as extras. And there's the circus director Winston, who looks awesome, and
he looks so cool.
But other than that, all these skins, and Lifeweaver finally is getting a good skin, but it's going to be in the shop though.
It's crazy. It fits him so well.
Yeah.
So many people were surprised, like, why didn't they give that to Mercy? Because biblically accurate angels just fit so well with Lifeweaver's design.
Why does Mercy need to get all the freaking skins?
Exactly.
People, stop asking to give every single like Mercy mains are like, why didn't Mercy get this skin? Why didn't Mercy get this skin? Well, Mercy's been getting skins over the last few. Sorry, Mercy mains. I'm terribly sorry, but
Mercy mains, you've been fed well by Blizzard with skins.
God.
We can sit this one out. It's someone else's time.
I mean, I don't want to be how do you say it? Be on anybody's case, but you guys got plenty of skins. It's time for some other heroes to get the shit done. And Lifeweaver was one of the heroes that was so underrepresented when it came to he did not have that one standout skin. Like Cleric, maybe. I was using the Halloween skin still up to this point, but I'm getting, as soon as this one hits the shop, I'm buying it, and that is going to be my go-to skin for Life Fever. It looks amazing.
I have to admit, as soon as I saw the skin, I said, I'm gonna save money for this. I want that skin specifically because it's so good.
Exactly. So, but that theme looks really interesting. We're also getting an event with the start called Cosmic Crisis. That is a limited time event. That the story is like it's set on Antarctica and the old gods. You know, it's the classic story. They've been digging too hard. They find an old god that has been imprisoned. It broke free, and it's starting to influence the most evil minds within your society and turning them against you and kind of using them as puppets in their ploy. And that is probably what is going to happen here. We're going to send him back, or the old gods, or I don't know how many of there are. It's just we see that one tentacle, that octopus face in the center of the map, and a lot of eyeballs everywhere. But we'll see how that kind of pans out. But it looks interesting. I hope it's going to be a fun game mode. Not all of the game modes have been winners lately, but apparently also like a lot of people that worked on this were let go a few weeks ago in the big wave of layoffs. I saw a lot of people that worked on this kind of how do you say it? It's a bittersweet moment. Like they saw all the work from the last few months being presented and being welcomed by the community, but they lost their jobs, so now they're on the other side of the line, and that kind of sucks. But nevertheless, I think it is going to be an interesting season, an interesting event. We'll see. With these events, kind of let's wait and see, because like with the Monster Hunt this season, I didn't play that at all.
I played that a few times, but not that much. It was fun for like the first day, and then kind of hadn't that much replayability.
Yeah, fun. I didn't even like the first day. It was really not my cup of tea. And like the last one that I really, really enjoyed, like the last Diablo event for the season before that was kind of nice. But like, I've not seen anything like the PvP or the PvE Halloween event from last year. The first event they ever did. That was so much fun.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I think the most.
I don't know. I kind of expect it's maybe gonna be similar to Star Watch, but we'll see.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be very similar to Star Watch, which was okay, but nothing to. But Prop Hunt has been a success, and every time they brought it back, I think this time around people really enjoyed it too, with the new rule set and whatnot.
It's so fun, like the new props, the new map.
Yeah,
and everything. Like that's really a game mode to stick around.
Yeah, that is definitely something to keep bringing back. I'm going to move forward a little bit. There's also going to be something with Valentine. I don't know if it's going to be a whole 2-week event. I don't think so. They kind of, I don't know. They're very kind of weird about it. But there's a Reaper skin and a Reaper emote where he punches this heart-shaped balloon, and he's wearing this skin in the trailer, which is the most Hot Topic skin. I've always said that Reaper shops in Hot Topic, and that skin literally is like, I mean, it's almost like Blizzard was like, oh, that is actually kind of funny. Let's make a Hot Topic skin because that skin, you could put the Hot Topic logo on there.
With the little wings on his back. It's like not like a little angel, like a little demon.
Yeah, exactly. It's such an oh my god, edgy boy being edgy.
And all the pink skins, Pink Reinhardt.
Yeah. I think that is going to be a big hit. Pink Reinhardt is going to be very popular.
He looks really cool, I have to say that. I kind of dig the pink skins, like Kiriko. The one is pretty cool, and the Pink Reinhardt really is something.
Yeah, they're going to be very like in the shop. There's going to be a lot of recolors, but as long as they put them in the shop, I'm fine with it. Like if I don't want to buy a recolor, I'm not going to buy a recolor.
Exactly.
People should not be complaining about anything. You can't complain about you needing to pay for something and then putting something in there that you don't want, because that is weird. Like that is like,
if you don't want it, don't buy it.
Yeah, but that's like walking past, I don't know, a butcher shop as a. Well, no, that's even still different, because you could be vegetarian because of objections against the animal cruelty and the way that they. But that is like walking past a shoe store with shoes that don't interest you at all, and going like really angry that they put all these shoes in the window that you don't care about. Like there's another shoe store right there. Go there. Go shop right there. What are you yelling at us for? This is for.
You don't need to spend the money if you don't want to. But like we have the majority of event-themed skins in the battle pass, which is really good.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, as I was saying, the Reaper skin could be a collab skin, but we're actually getting a collab. Cowboy Bebop crossover mid-season. I had no idea. I had heard about Cowboy Bebop, never watched it. Now I've seen half the season, the episodes, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, a lot of people are super excited about this one. I'm happy for them. We'll see how that pans out.
It's such a classic anime. I haven't seen it, but I know a bit of the history. It's like one of the first animes that gotten really big in the Western hemisphere. It's kind of one of the animes that started everything off. So I get why so many people are excited about that, because that was one of the first that were a huge hit.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, am I upset that it's another anime? Yes, I am. Because, come on, man. I wanted something else than an anime. Anime, K-pop, anime. What the hell is this? But as a Gen X metalhead, I'm like, can we get something? I don't know, a little darker, maybe a little more fun, a little more. I don't know, maybe DC. Like we've gotten so many examples over the last few years. Come on, but we'll see. This is just the first one.
I watched your video where we said Sesame Street. It made me chuckle.
I mean, Sesame Street. Come on, bring it on.
It would be fun.
Anything that doesn't make me go, what? Who? Like, I'm kind of sick and tired of going, who? Instead of what?
When I'm with a big yellow bird, let's go.
One Punch what? Like, yeah. Bring me. I mean, I've heard about all of it, but I just, I have no idea what it is. So it doesn't get me personally very excited. But I'm happy for everybody else. We're also getting some new weapon skins. That was a surprise for everybody that they didn't even mention it in the trailer. It just kind of showed up in the overview. Los Muertes weapon skins, and then because you don't know what Los Muertes is, that is the Samba's old gang that she used to be in Dorado. Basically, she has a few skins where she has the neon face paint. Those are those guys. And also in a short with Soldier 76, he is kind of kicking that gang's ass in Dorado with the young girl kind of losing her food money and whatnot, and he helping her out. Pharah is getting an update, also kind of surprising because we expected Cassidy and Wrecking Ball to be next, and then turns out it's not a rework per se. It's just like some ability changes that you're going to do. But Junkertown is also getting an update, also kind of somewhere in the bottom line of some blog post that was like, oh, Pharah and Junkertown are getting reworked. Like,
like Junkertown, like, what? Junkertown?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, exactly, because they just did a Junkertown rework at the start of Overwatch 2. They added a lot more obstacles in the zone outside of Junkertown. We'll see what they actually want to. But I've noticed that they've been kind of going over all the maps, and like they did with the same with Gibraltar. They kind of had these extra.
Good though. I think it feels fresher because at some point you know the maps like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
So like keeping things a bit different sometimes, like changing the visuals. I like that.
And there are some issues with some maps, like some choke points that are kind of hard to get over, and then they need to circumvent with new pathways. Or in other instances where you can't push through because it is so open that a Widow can shoot you from anywhere she wants. Like there's like no room for you to move. So we'll see with that. I'll be making videos about all of that once it comes out on Tuesday. Let me think. Anything? The Hero Mastery Gauntlet. The multiplayer Hero Masteries are coming this season.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, that is going to be in March. So with 3 versus 3, with 3 players, not 3 versus 3. With 3 players, you'll be able to kind of do this tower defense mode. That I'm actually more excited about than any out of the Hero Masteries. The Hero Masteries don't really. I don't know. I think they're pretty good for content creators that want to kind of climb the leaderboards and whatnot and kind of find these. If you are into kind of the more Mario trend where trial and error, you just keep trying to get better and better times. I don't have time for that. I don't have.
I mean, the team tower defense is just like, it's just going to be another challenge for you and your friends.
Yeah.
Because you can just play with your friends. French, yeah, sure. No, but friends.
Yeah, French. Those are her friends from France. So
my French.
Frozen has decided to talk less by just throwing words together.
Exactly.
She just had a hamwich, which is a sandwich with ham.
At least I don't. I don't find new days of the week.
Ah, come on! It was a month. It was a new month that invented, not a day of the week. It was February. Now, while we're talking about the Hero Mastery Gauntlets, there was also another update that they shared for Season 9 on the whole Defense Matrix project, which is basically Blizzard fighting toxicity and cheaters and whatnot. And the few things they shared is that a lot of people have been complaining about the lever penalties. Boo! I've seen the weirdest excuses. I'm going to be honest. Like, let me make one thing clear. Like, most of you know, I am very much in favor of the lever penalties because I'm an old man. I'm old school. I'm like, if you go for that commitment towards other people, real people, not just like bots or no, these are other people that are spending their free time, those few free hours they have every single day after a hard day of work. They are forced to spend that with you, but nevertheless, they want to make it as fun as possible. And just because something is not going your way, you decide to leave, or because it's a little more difficult than you had hoped it would be, or because you don't get to play the hero you want to play. All of these excuses, you just bail on these people and kind of ruin their experience and have them being stuck. Either they have the choice, they can leave themselves and take the penalty, or they just wait it out for 10 minutes and have a miserable experience because you don't get your way. Well, look, you can choose to do that, but just expect like every action you take is going to result in consequences. That is something.
The only valid thing I've seen so far regarding why sometimes these could be problematic is for people, for example, with disabilities, if they start dissociating, or, for example, I don't know, like for people with those kinds of disabilities, that can be hard if, like, hey, maybe if I'm starting to dissociate or experience something, I should better leave this game.
Yeah, I've seen that comment too.
That's like the only thing I've read so far that was like, yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, but wait, let me approach it from this end. I don't have any experience with disassociation and whatnot. But what I have a personal condition. That is that I can go blind because of a migraine attack. Everything in front of me just goes milky white. I don't see jack shit anymore. I'm just staring in front of me. For the next 10 minutes to 15 minutes, I can't do anything. When that happens to me, I need to kind of make my way out of the game. I usually feel it's coming, so I kind of have this sense of it. I just feel it. It always has something to do with my blood pressure too. I can feel that it is about to happen. So when I feel that it is about to happen, I will stop queuing up. I know at that point that I'm not going to be able to continue, that something is going to happen to stop me, and I wait till I feel like, okay, it's past, it's not going to come back, before I start queuing up again. And that is my responsibility to deal with my, it's not, I wouldn't call it disability, it's migraines attack, it's nowhere serious. But I do think, like, I saw that comment too, and I was like, yeah, I get it, but you only get banned after six, or you get outed for 4 hours after you leave 6 of your games. If you're being stubborn and you keep kind of feeling whatever happens to you keep happening again, you just need to chill. That is your body telling you need to chill. This is not the time. You need to kind of, and that is why they add these 6 games and I don't know what it is like.
Well, that's why I also felt like if you feel bad, if you start feeling like you can't play anymore, even during a game, I don't know, you're maybe gonna leave like 1, tops 2 games before you stop playing and take a break.
Yeah, before you realize like this is not going to work, and even like if you keep doing that and I mean I say this with utmost respect because I do not know what everybody is going through and what everybody's disabilities are, and I have no experience in everybody's disabilities, but I do know that you always have a choice in what you do. I mean, I actually saw that same comment that you were talking about right now, and I almost reacted to it, but also I mean I don't want to kind of assume anything, I'm just telling it from my standpoint as someone that suffers migraines and that really goes blind for, I don't know, 15 minutes to half an hour because of a migraine attack. Well, blind is a big word, but you could throw a rock at me and it would just be like taking it right in the face. There would be zero reaction except until it hits my face. But then I know I need to step back. I need to stop logging in. I need to rest up. I know that is just a situation where I cannot continue playing or doing whatever I'm doing. And that's why they kind of put this. They're not going to refrain you from logging in after every single game that you left. No, you need to be kind of consistently. Out of 20 games, you need to leave 6 games. That is a lot. But apparently some people left 90% of their games. 90%! Yeah, we've talked about this before. I remember I was yelling about this before. But 90%? How do you do... What?
I don't know.
Why do you even have the game installed at that point? What is your Overwatch experience? I don't get it. I really feel like I'm getting old. Sometimes I'm looking at people and going like, what drives you? What makes you kind of... Why?
And don't worry, I feel that too sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because as you grow older, you start to realize that you're not the center of the universe, basically. Like that you are a part of a big organism, a system.
I don't know. Like, I feel like people sometimes forget that it's just a game.
Yeah.
Like, true. Of course, a game, something you're passionate about. But, I mean, you can bleep me out if that's too much, but it's not a... Don't take it so hard.
Oh, my God! I'm not putting this on YouTube. I need to look for that, and I have to bleep this.
I'm sorry.
God!
But it's really not that big of an issue. It's just a game.
Okay, you have a bit of an accent. Maybe YouTube will skip over.
Maybe. Why are you getting so worked up over it?
Yeah.
Just do something else for a while.
Yeah.
Why are you so, like, adamant about trying to, like, I don't know. Why do you get so worked up over that?
This standpoint, this is just a game. If I want to leave it, I'm going to leave it. But it is a game, but you're not leaving it because, you're leaving it because it's not going your way. And sometimes things will not go your way. It's a game. Face it. If you cannot face the adversities that will be thrown at you in a simple video game, good luck out there.
But it's like, it's going both ways. Like, it's just a game. Why don't you just finish that game?
Yeah.
Why you just don't finish that round?
I fully agree with you, Frozen.
Because it's so selfish at some point to leave a game. If you, like, just leave a game just because it's not going away. I'm not talking about, like, I don't know, you really have to leave a game because of something. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about if you leave a game just because you're annoyed at it, or if you're annoyed that you're not getting any kills or anything like that. That's selfish.
And we're not talking about the seafood.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on.
Maybe I'm getting hungry.
we've been ranting about this for a few episodes already, and there's still a lot of stuff we need to kind of address. The thing I actually wanted to say is that they're going to, instead of kind of cutting that back, Jesus Christ, we've been ranting for the last 8 minutes about this,
and
we haven't gotten to the point. Is that they're going to also introduce this in Mystery Heroes, and in the new mode that they're going to add the Hero Master Gauntlet. So it's going to be everywhere. They're clearly not giving up on that, and I fully agree with them that is the way forward. They also shared that they had to block 350,000 accounts that were caught cheating. 350,000. How small are these PPs? See, that's the way to put it. PP, not...
sorry.
Yeah, there we go. 350,000 people. And on top of that, 35,000 people that were purposely playing with those cheaters. So they're now, as they said, also tackling the passive cheaters. People that also take advantage of one of their friends.
I mean, if you know someone's cheating and actively support it, that doesn't make you any better than the person who's cheating.
No. Yeah, you're just kind of, you're you're not taking the risk, but you're still kind of taking advantage of those cheats. So yeah, there's a lot of changes. There was one more of I can't think of it right now. The endorsements.
Oh yeah.
It was actually something in the whole defense matrix. It was not all about penalties and whatnot. It was also about the endorsements, which has been a feature that ever since it was released, I feel it kind of missed the ball. But now they're going to they've been doing some changes. It's kind of easier to get to 4 and 5. The decay it has been less prominent. And now you'll also be able to endorse your friends. So up till season 9, you were not able to endorse your friends, anybody that was on your Battle.net list, which is one of the reasons my endorsement level on my Omnic post account is so low, because I'm always playing with random people, with people in my friends list, not with random people. That is going to change. Now I can force everybody in my stream that joins my game to vote for me. That's going to be fun. No. Of course,
changing up people like endorse me.
Endorse me or I'll kick you. No. It is. They will only be able to vote once per session and whatnot. So it is still kind of restricted to the symbols. But I do think it is quite an important change in the sense that, look, it's not because it's a friend that you should. I don't know. It was a weird kind of thing. I could understand why, because if you are with friends, they are going to be the first that you're going to endorse. But after that first endorsement, you can't do that is it. We always said, like, yeah, maybe restricted to once every day or something. And I don't even think they're going to do that. They're just going to allow you to vote for your friends the same way you do for other people. And I think that is just fine. I do think they need more of a reward for the endorsements. Right now, it kind of feels like, yeah, whatever.
It's just a little number. Yeah. Again, that's next to you is like, oh, I'm at 5. I have a funny number. It's turquoise. Yay.
I think the original idea was to kind of group people up according to endorsement levels, but I think that also put a lot of extra stress on the matchmaking in the sense that you get an extra parameter to keep in mind, and the queues get a little longer at that point. So I think they abandoned that idea, but I still think we need a little more of an incentive or reward for the people that actually. I mean, that it is actually, like, if you're at an endorsement level 1 or 2, that you're kind of missing out on stuff, to be honest. Like,
I mean, it still gives you kind of a little serotonin boost if you like see that little, like, you've been endorsed.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get the recognition, and like if you get 4 votes or even more, and that you notice that the enemy team starts voting for you, that's like, oh, nice. I must have done something impressive. But I do think, when it comes to kind of battling toxic behavior, it's not as much about rewarding the people and giving you that little boost of serotonin, like you said, but also kind of people that are just kind of being repeatedly toxic will also have a very low endorsement score. They will have a 1 or a 2.
You can immediately spot out the toxic people, yeah.
Just make sure that they feel like they're missing out on something. Like, that they have a reason to kind of behave. It's not like you don't need to bribe people to be good, but once it becomes like an incentive to kind of be nicer to other people, you need to have a space. And I think that is something that has been overlooked, is that the problem with the Overwatch community is not the individuals. It's the space on a whole is very, very kind of not numb, but kind of dismissive of people with like toxic behavior. And I know that is kind of silly to talk about, but the EZGG, while it is very kind of tongue-in-cheek and more of, how do you call it? It's not the biggest toxic trait that you can have, saying EZGG in game. It does create this environment wherein sportiveness in general is kind of dismissed. That it's not about showing respect to your opponents anymore, and just kind of this whole troll culture. And that, I think, is the cause of a lot of issues going on within this community and stuff that we have seen in the last few weeks, where there is zero respect for each other, for the player base, for the community, for the developers, for the people working on the game, for the company. And some of that has to do with the behavior of the company and the developers and the people. That is completely correct. I mean, the problem that Blizzard now faces on a whole, and that Team 4 faces, is that there is no trust and very little respect for them. And that is kind of the result of the decisions that have been made over the last few years, the last few months, and even the last few weeks. The fact that they fired 1,900 people. By the way, there's something like an update. I don't know if a lot of people heard this, but the FTC, the people that were blocking the merger with Microsoft a few months ago actually filed a complaint with the court about these 1,900 people getting fired, in the sense that it was part of the deal that was made between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. It was that Blizzard would be allowed to function as an independent company. And the FTC said, yeah, but they just were forced by Microsoft to lay off. I think in Blizzard, I heard a number, another content creator for Warcraft apparently had a number, and I think it was something like 850 people were fired at Blizzard.
Damn.
Yeah. They laid off 850 people. That is against the agreement that was made. And then Microsoft came back and said, yeah, but actually it's not, because Activision had already planned to fire all these people months ago. They already kind of made these plans to lay off all these people, and it all kind of culminated because of the overlap. We had to kind of dismiss the overlapped roles and whatnot. It kind of all came together, but these people were going to lose their job anyways. And this doesn't explain anything. It adds some extra context to that story in case you hear something about it. But that also had a huge impact on the trust and the respect for the company, even with me. I'm going to be honest. After that huge wave of layoffs, that was for me the last drop in kind of accepting that Blizzard is no longer, in no way, to no extent, the company I kind of, so to speak, fell in love with all those years ago. I've kind of distanced myself, not from the people that work there. There are some individuals, people I am in touch with, that I still much respect, even people that I don't have direct contact with, but that I follow and that I kind of respect because of the work they do and who they are. But the company as a whole, yeah, that is the end of an era for me. That was kind of, for me, the layoffs was like, okay, like the whole back and forth also about that, the president back, like Mike Ibarra and whatnot. There's like a whole follow-up on all that I'm not going to go into right now. There was a lot of weird shit happening. And I'm like, I need to kind of let go of that old Blizzard, that Jeff Kaplan, that Mike Morhaime. There are still some people that work there, like Chris Metzen, who I am a huge fan of. But other than that, I'm just like, whatever. And like I said, there are some people, individuals, even in the Overwatch team, that I have a huge amount of respect for. A lot of them, actually. But and I think that is something that the community on the whole is also kind of struggling with. But to get back to the essence, we still need to respect each other as players. This is a competitive game. This whole troll culture of just dismissing your opponents, even how low impact you think it might be, it creates a culture in which that people that have some major issues can kind of take advantage of that and be very rude and dismissive and to point racist and whatnot and get away with it. I don't think that is healthy for a game. That is not what we need in Overwatch. So that was a long speech to just get to the point. Like, I do think that these positive enforcements and kind of putting anything in the community that will have people, I have the utmost respect for anybody that starts as a game with, hey, guys, have fun. I won't do it myself because I'm an old edgy Gen Xer that listened to death metal for his whole life. But I'm not that fluffy, but I do have respect for those people and I appreciate that. And I think it sends something beautiful into the community that we should do more often, instead of just thinking that we're so funny. Like, sometimes people think they're so funny sometimes with the shit they say, and you're not. You're just a dismissive little. See, that's the way you do it. You censor yourself, Frozen.
Well, I can. I don't have a little
I'm not stopping you. Well, yeah, I'm not stopping you from saying beep. We go old school, analog. Anyways, we're going to slowly round things up. I think we said everything that we wanted to say. I think everything that needed to be said is said.
I knew the only thing that was kind of seen that I was like, maybe that's cool. Like maybe a little hint was the Anna skin we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, true. I posted about that. The Anna. It looks like Anna has dipped into Reaper's closet. She has this, and to kind of quickly explain it because we're going over time here, is in the trailer that they showed one shot set on Hollywood. You see Anna approaching, and she's just in the shot for a few frames. But in those shots, she is wearing a skin, and we were watching the trailer during my stream. And if you go watch the video, you'll see my reaction. Like, is that a new Anna skin? And like, yeah, everybody's like, oh yeah, I think it's a new skin. And afterwards, you got the chance to look at it a little closer. And it looks like she's wearing Talon attire. She looks like she's wearing Reaper's uniform, basically.
Either like Talon or like kind of Blackwatchy vibes with the red in there. But it kind of feels like it's hinting at like a mirrored universe. It really feels like it.
I think this is Talon. This is definitely the Talon colors because it is Reaper's, like the hood is the same as Reaper's.
Yeah, it is.
That is having a lot of people think that the next season is going to be season 10 might be the mirrored universe, or at least this Anna skin teases that season. And I don't know, it would be kind of a weird move to tease season 12 or 14 instead of season 10 in this trailer. So, and I like that they're doing stuff like that.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Very curious. I think, to be honest, like I've said this in videos, the Eldritch Horror and the mirrored universe were my two. Like, of all the ones that they spoke about at BlizzCon that they said they would be coming later this year, those two were actually my favorites. And then Egyptian mythology, and then the last one was witches and wizards. So, yeah, kind of looking forward to this. Anna as a Talon member. I mean, kind of curious what they're going to do with that, because it gives them a lot of room to work with some game modes, PvE game modes, where they basically the Star Watch thing, but then showing us a different universe. I kind of like that.
That's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite series in Marvel to just kind of go somewhere else is the What If series. I like that a real lot. Have you watched What If?
No, but I like the mind like palaces people build was like, what if that happened instead of that? What if, like, I really like those incentives. I really like those concepts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what basically the whole genre of fan fiction is built on. The what if that happened instead of that?
Yeah, even or just building on certain storylines that were never kind of. Have you? There's like a fantasy series. Oh, I can't think of the name. That also has these universes where, and then you had these one group of people that could actually travel from one universe to the other and see these alternate universes of each other. Oh, I started reading that series of books. It was really good, but I never finished it because I didn't have time anymore to read it. Was it Amber? I think it was Amber. I'm not 100% sure that it was the series. Anyways, we'll talk about Marvel quickly before we... Quickly! There's no time! We finished Echo yesterday, the Marvel series about the hero Echo, the deaf person that was in Hawkeye, the Hawkeye series. And that is, without a kidding, in my opinion at least, one of the best, the most enjoyable of these series they have done on Disney Plus I've seen in a really long time. It is done with, I don't know, like she is from Native heritage, so and the way they kind of integrate her background into everything, it is beautifully done. I kind of like it, so definitely worth to check out. Anyways, that was it for today. A little off topic at the end right there. We squeezed it out just at the end, didn't we? Guys, well, let me first start out with asking Frozen where these lovely people can find her.
Well, at Frozen Unicorn on Twitter and Instagram, and the first O is a 0.
There we go. There's going to be a t-shirt one day. You can find me as DameseyStevie on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. I've been rolling with my videos, and there's a lot coming on Damesey's, so go check them out. Other than that, check out the Omnic post for all your updates on Overwatch. I want to thank our Patreons for the support. You guys are lovely legends. And check out patreon.com/theomnicpost if you want to become part of this family.
And if you want to hear the podcast earlier.
Yeah, the podcast early, get stickers. There's like a lot of rewards. I'm working on some extra content, like room tour videos. I did a Q&A video last week.
Yeah, really cool stickers.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, those are the Christmas stickers. The next ones are going to be around Easter. I'm also, there's going to be pins this year. I kind of expanded on everything. And digital art. Got some new, if Hilda doesn't drop it, she's using it right now somewhere. She's making her own stuff. Never mind. You can also follow the Omnic Weekly on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Not on TikTok, Instagram or Twitter. But the best way to stay up to date on when we will be uploading a new episode is just to follow on whatever platform that you're listening right now or watching, because we do a video podcast that is available on YouTube every single Monday.
So, I can see our faces.
Exactly. Sometimes butts. I tend to sit upside down in my chair occasionally. And
yeah, but you don't notice if you're only listening, you know? You need to go back to all the...
I'm going to be honest. People that watch the podcast don't even notice that I'm sitting upside down. They don't see the difference between my face and my ass.
Is it that hairy?
It's a medical... I got myself into this.
Yeah.
It was too easy a setup.
Yep.
Oh. Alright. That was it today. Guys, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all and hear you all next week with our hairy asses. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.